Audio check. Once more under the breach, dear friends.
Oh my goodness. Are we under the breach?
Once more under the breach, dear friends!
If memory serves, it all worked out for Henry V, so we're doing all right. All right, what's up, everybody? Corey Singletary here with the Citizens Utility Board, along with, as always,
Tom Content, Citizens Utility Board. Where else?
all of the finest news in the for utility customers in the state of Wisconsin. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and follow along with us. You don't miss any future episodes and any content that's information that's important for Wisconsin utility customers. So the first thing before we dive into it today, a couple things we wanted to plug. We've uploaded onto the YouTube channel the July 21st webinar on affordable clean energy transition, if I'm remembering the topic correctly.
Setting the stage for the affordable clean energy transition for Wisconsin. That's right.
Yeah, so folks should go take a look at that one. This is not meant to be a self-promotional plug. I was on the panel for that particular webinar, but we had
You did great.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation. We had Nick from Midwest Renewable Energy Association, Nick Hyla, as well as
Scott Coonan from Wisconsin Conservative Energy Forum.
That's correct.
And Heather Getchar of CUB Board was our moderator.
Yep.
So,
and we've got another webinar coming up soon too, August 18th. Is
August
that correct?
18th. So noon on August 18th. Register at cubwi.org/events. We will be talking about where energy costs are headed and what to do. So we're going to have speakers from Renew Wisconsin, the Vernon County Energy District, and Green Homeowners United in Milwaukee County. So we'll have some urban and rural perspectives on what folks can do to manage energy costs or take action on rising energy costs. So.
Cool. So everyone should check that out and register, cubwi.org/events. You had mentioned something to me about some bonus focus incentives. I hadn't heard about it yet, so I'll let you take that. And that sounded interesting. If you want.
Yeah. So Focus is increasing their incentives for heat pumps actually right now. So there's a bonus incentive in place for heat pumps. It's an extra $500 over the incentive that they're already traditionally offering for heat pumps. So that's over and above. I think there's a baseline incentive of $1,000 off on heat pumps, and so it's for the rest of this. It's at least for the summer months, if not the rest of this year. It's a 2022 incentive. So every once in a while, if you go on the focusonenergy.com website and go residential, you'll see a list of incentives on there. But this one may not even be updated yet because they put a price list out for the whole year. But this is a new incentive that we wanted to highlight because it just came out in their newsletter that they put out for residential customers.
Yeah.
So it's good to see.
Well, by the time this gets uploaded and folks are listening, maybe they'll have some updated information. But if not, check out Focus on Energy and reach out to them with any information about their heat pump program.
So for dual fuel, here I found the even more particulars on it. So for dual fuel heat pumps, it would be a bonus of $500 for a total of $1,500, and that's for equipment installed by September 30th. And then for geothermal, if you're thinking of going with a geothermal heat pump with a natural gas backup, it's a $500 incentive, also $1,500 total. But that you can install by the end of the year. So it's eligible through December 31st. So
all right. So a little bit quicker turnaround for regular non-geothermal heat pump. So if you're interested in that, make certain to jump on that one. And I know that heat pumps are not new, certainly, but I think heat pumps in Wisconsin are gaining are slowly or maybe rapidly. I'm actually not that plugged in with that particular marketplace, but I know that they're gaining broader acceptance in Wisconsin, and I think particularly with the dual fuel, if you've got natural gas, for those bitterly cold upper Midwest days that we still get.
Yeah, but there's new research that's out in the last few years that shows in cold climates there used to be this perception, there used to be concern that they wouldn't work in the cold weather, but the cold climate heat pump research that's come out in recent years is showing the upper Midwest can be a place for these to work, and so I think we're going to see a big transition over time to that.
Yeah, and they can do wonders for reducing your heating and cooling energy bills or just sort of total energy consumption. Might require some fuel switching, going from natural gas to electric.
There is that,
but I believe my understanding is that you will end up net positive with lower energy bills overall. So that's great news. That folks should definitely check that out if they are on the fence or in the process of considering whether or not they want to pull the trigger on a heat pump.
Yep.
Speaking of heating and cooling,
yes,
crazy times.
It is crazy times. I mean, it's just nuts. And so we're in the dog days of summer, and we're seeing, customer utilities like Alliant and MG&E using their smart thermostat programs to encourage customers to save. You got a notice about that yourself, right?
Yeah, I got. We had an event last week, end of last week. That there was that heat wave that rolled through with the dangerously high temps, and yeah, we had I think it was a 2-hour event for our air conditioning. It was a sort of pre-cool and then we're going to dial you down sort of situation. It was a little warmer when I got home, but everything was fine. So yeah, I think that and they're certainly, the utilities have been in communication with their large customers that have interruptible loads to help manage strain on the grid. Certainly the utility and the grid operators doing everything they can to keep the lights on.
That's right. And we haven't seen any issues in the Midwest. There's been some close calls, it sounds like, from what we've been reading down in Texas, with some more plants being out of service than they expected down there, and with the extreme summer heat that they're seeing, with 100 plus temperatures every single day for weeks on end. But one thing that even though it's the dog days of summer, one thing we're already tracking is natural gas and what this means for the winter ahead, because it's in the summertime when the utilities put a certain portion of that natural gas for winter use in storage. So they have to buy it at some point, and the price. You were talking about Henry V earlier, but what the natural gas world, they talk about the Henry Hub in I think Chicagoland is where that is based. But the prices there are just nutso. They've nearly doubled in the last 12 months, and if you compare it to 2020, it's even more crazy. So it went from in June of 2020 $1.63 per MMBTU, which was probably one of the lowest we've ever seen, given the demand destruction that was going on in the whole economy with COVID and everything shutting down. But it went from 163 to 326, so pretty much a doubling from June 2020 to June 2021. And now it's doubled again. It was at 770 as of June of 2022. I haven't seen the July numbers yet, but those are some big increases that the folks, the nonprofit trade association that lobbies for funding for LIHEAP is warning that natural gas prices for this coming winter could be up 44% from last winter, and that was already, again, higher than the prior winter. So it's just a time to really watch how you use energy, and if you can, take steps to shore up the efficiency of your house, whether it's insulation or air sealing or LED bulbs, some of those tried and true methods that we talk about a lot, and we will hope that people are going to take advantage of, because you got to be ready for the prices that are going to hit.
Well, and I think in particular with the experience most folks have had over the last year, I think it's really important to, as much as it's July and, we just kind of all sort of, relatively speaking, just got to finish celebrating Independence Day, to start thinking about December, January, February, because if you feel like you need, if your house needs if your home needs a little bit of an upgrade, or you need to put something in place to help you manage your heating load this winter, it might take a little bit.
That's right, and the winter heating season doesn't wait for anybody. It comes faster than people think. So you got to really take steps, basically before Halloween, to really make sure you're protected from some of these increases that could be on the horizon. Obviously we can cross our fingers and hope that natural gas prices come down, and it sounds like in the overall market, natural gas prices were even higher a couple months ago, but it's still pretty nutso out there. So got to be ready.
I mean, all the oldies but goodies still apply. Insulation. Folks are probably familiar with. Plastic over the windows and all your various basic steps. But, we've got some energy saving tips on the website, some of our resources, but definitely start thinking about that heating and cooling requirement and maybe that honey-do list that's related to the windows or whatever the case might be in your house, and try to get that taken care of before the winter. Because as you mentioned, Mother Nature waits for no one.
That's right. Insulate, and that's one of your best defenses.
Cool. So yeah, that's, energy efficiency is always important, and we'll, if we continue to hear more updates on any new focus programs or changes to the focus program, we'll make certain to let folks know so they can take advantage of that. But otherwise, when this goes out, you should be on vacation. So hopefully your vacation goes well.
I hope it does. I hope it's not 104 in London when I'm there. So it's not supposed to be. That heat wave's supposed to be done. So we'll see.
All right. Well, you'll have to let us know how that turns out. But thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thanks always to you, Tom.
Everybody.
All right. Catch you all on the next one.